What is your worst public behavior? Like something that you know probably bothers other people, but you do it anyway.
Give me an example.
I'm not great at cleaning up after myself in public. I don't always pick up dog poop. I don't do a great job of wiping down equipment at the gym after I use it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have any, to be honest. Like I can't think of one thing where I do that like it's bothersome to everybody else.
Oh, Mr. Perfect then.
I mean,
Right? I
I
think that you need to take a more critical look at yourself. If you can't identify flaws in your character, you haven't really taken a look at yourself. You haven't really taken an honest look. You're lying to yourself.
I mean, I'm not going to say I don't have flaws, but I mean, I don't think there's things that I do that people are like truly bothered by.
Man.
No,
Okay,
I
I
mean,
have lots of public flaws. I guess you're just Mr. Perfect over there, Kurt Henning. Kurt Henning? Is that his name?
I mean, I have like in a parking lot, I park away from everybody, but like that bothers nobody. Nobody is bothered by that.
I actually am slightly bothered by that and will park a little bit close to people who purposely park way outside. Like if you've got a car that you're clearly trying to protect and you park way at the end of the lot, I'm going to park not necessarily right next to you, but I'm going to park close enough to let you know that I see you.
You see what's happening here? You're totally explaining why you have these things, and I don't, because I just want to go about my business. I just want to be peaceful.
You're going bothering people with that goatee you got. You're
I
bothering
s-
people with that fake mustache beard combination you're trying to grow. I'll tell you that.
I actually shaved my flavor saver this morning. That thing comes in really well.
Oh man, you were bothering people with that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't grow facial hair. We know that.
I tried to. It wasn't pretty. I took
No,
7
dude.
days and didn't manage to grow out anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I really have anything. Nothing that comes to mind.
Okay, well, so John is starting off 2026. Perfect, I guess.
Well, I didn't say that.
There you go, audience. John's better than everybody.
See,
All
nobody.
hail John, Mr. Perfect. That's your big flaw. You think you're better than everyone.
Oh, do I? Would that be something that people would say about me? Is that I'm a narcissist?
I don't think so. Would you
No,
want to hear all the things that people say about you?
no. I mean,
Oh, you wouldn't?
no, because not that it would truly bother me, but I bet you 50% of what people say about you is not kind things.
Oh, yeah. I would like to know simply because sometimes when somebody else tells you their real thoughts, you really wonder, like, how did you get to that conclusion? So
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
like to know out of curiosity. I would like to know because maybe there's some spaces there for self improvement. And I would also like to know just because you never really know what somebody else is thinking. Even the most sane person, I think, can have some crazy thoughts.
yeah, I mean that it doesn't. I'm having a crazy thought right now as I look at my hair and realize that I look like I don't even know a homeless man met John Shull.
No, you look like Wolverine is really starting to age and let himself go.
I, I'll take that at least. I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like, all right, well, I mean, kind of a compliment. Look a
I'll
little
take.
like
Listen,
Wolverine. Like you assume you're a little bit of good shape.
did you pull the
Okay.
audience?
No, I didn't. I didn't
Oh,
think that far ahead.
you ever have
What do
like
you do?
something that you don't know what it is, but you're like, I'm gonna get rid of it anyways. I could have just looked up poop. I don't even know.
Oh, what? Wait, what were you doing?
There was something on my laptop that looked like chocolate, melted chocolate, but I don't remember having chocolate near my laptop.
So your first instinct is just to lick it?
Well, you lick your finger and you smudge it off, right?
Yeah, I don't know why you got to lick your finger. Why don't you just use the fingernail and like grind it off? That's
I
what
don't
I
have
would have
I
done.
don't have fingernails.
At all?
I,
I
I
was
bite I
born
bite
without fingernail?
I bite them to the point to where like I can't you know.
You can't get a single part of your fingernail on the table.
Yeah, but
they're that far back.
Oh, sorry.
You could use it.
I have a very white hand, by the way. Very translucent hand. I need to get some sun. But yeah, like I just don't have fingernails.
Okay.
Cuticles.
All right, let's
cubicles.
Move on to shout-outs, Wolverine.
Wish I had knives that came out of my hands. All right, Samantha Roth, Ramon Middleton, Gennaro Hogan, Arlene Green, Alonzo Flores, Bernie Mac, but not the Bernie Mac that we all remember and love.
Passed away.
Like years and years. Lauren Ford, Jeremy Thornton, Charmaine Harding, and Karen Solomon. See, that was a quick and efficient.
That was good. That was good. I would say that once a celebrity dies, I really have no idea how long ago they died. They're either alive or dead. I have no idea when they may have died. Like,
yeah,
I can't think of a single celebrity who died right off the top of my head. James Earl Jones. When did he die?
I don't know.
In my mind, it could have been last week or 5 years ago.
Let's see. I'm going to say 2014.
No.
Is he even dead?
2024, so you were 10 years off.
Yeah, see?
That wasn't even close.
When did Prince die?
Ooh. 2019.
2016.
Well, give me another one.
Oh man, I'm gonna get you on this.
I'm gonna give you one randomly. When did Anna Nicole Smith die?
2003.
No. I'm gonna say something that maybe I should not admit. Of all the celebrity deaths that have happened in my lifetime, Anna Nicole Smith's death hit me the hardest.
Of course it did. Why?
Because that was the first person that was around my age at the same time that died, and it was a realization that, like, oh, you could die too. Anna Nicole Smith's death was the first death that made me realize that I could also die at a very young age.
Wow.
Like, oh, I could die too.
When did John McCain die?
2017.
2018. Close though.
Oh,
anyways.
I can place some deaths by where I was at a certain time. I was in Arizona at that time. When was the first time that you realized, like, oh, I'm going to die someday?
Oof. I mean, it's kind of a sad story. I don't know if we really want to go into it, but.
Oh, is it embarrassing in any way?
No, but it's actually, okay, now I'm going to tell the 30-second story. In high school, I had a classmate shot and killed.
Oh, that's off to a bad start. Okay,
it is.
This is sad. Yeah.
And that was terrible enough, right? As I was 16, I was a junior in high school.
I guess it is Detroit. Doesn't everybody have some classmate that was shot and killed in Detroit?
Christ. Anyways.
I mean, that's not even news in Detroit, is it?
Anyways,
that's just like, oh yeah, hey man, my classmate was shot and killed. Like, yeah, it's Detroit, dude. Everybody's had to know somebody who was shot and killed.
Two things. Let me finish story real fast. So that was the first time that I remember being like, man, like life is fragile, blah, blah, blah. But then I remember a reporter who I ended up working with, actually. But at the time I was in high school and they were a reporter, right? And they came onto our school property to ask students, did you know so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. And I remember getting so angry and threatening this person with violence. And then 6, 7, 8 years later, I was working with them.
It's
crazy.
Weird how your perspective changes.
Yes.
How like, oh man, this is terrible. Man, I got to earn a living, so I'm going to go ahead and do this.
Pretty much. Anyway, so yeah, that was the first time that I remember, now, I mean, celebrity-wise, I mean, I can't really think of like a celebrity that, I mean, where I'm like, man, like life is short. Like I don't know.
I didn't even know who she was at the time, really. I mean, I knew who she was. I knew the name. But for some reason, I was like, wow, Anna Nicole Smith is dead. I could die too.
Yeah.
Right. I know.
Wow.
That's a weird one.
I mean, the baseball player Jose Fernandez in 2016 got me. Um, young upstart kid had the
Oh,
world
I
in
remember
front of
now.
him, and then he died in a boat crash. And but the thing is with that is, I remember thinking, oh man, he wasn't driving the boat; it was terrible. He's a passenger, kind of like Paul Walker. But then you realize that like they put themselves in that position, like they knew what could have happened, and it happened.
I remember the guy. I don't remember the actor's name, but he was on in a Star Trek movie, and he
Okay.
died because like his car. It was some kind of issue, I believe, with the manufacturer too. That like they slipped out of gear and crushed him, and that was one of those like, oh, something could just happen.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, like
Uh,
what a way to go. Okay, can we stop talking about death?
yeah. So I wanted to just do something a little fun that you'll probably hate and turn into me regretting even thinking of this. But I
Okay,
just wanted
okay,
to I just want to give you a word, an object, and I just want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
okay.
All right, so we'll start off with a couple easy ones here. Oreos,
Overrated.
pink houses,
Depends on the color pink.
and then we'll
If
end
you're
this
gonna
one
go
here
for
with
it, go for it. Don't like half-ass color a pink house. If you're gonna pick an odd color or something, go for it. At times, there's an orange house in my neighborhood, and I like it. I like it.
I'm kind of surprised. I thought you were going to go with John Mellencamp because that was the name of his most famous album was Pink
I
House.
don't know any of that.
Yes, yes,
Is
you
John
know.
Mellencamp related to John Cougar Mellencamp?
It's this. Oh my god,
Don't know
it's
a
this.
single song. Tell me
It's
the
the
name of the
same
song.
person, man.
Okay, but what's one of their songs if he's so
Jack.
famous?
Why are you saying there? It's a person. It's Jack and Diane.
Oh,
Little
little ditty
ditty
about Jack and
about
Diane.
Jack and Diane.
He's
Two
like,
American.
I will always remember. I guess the reason that I don't know really who John Cougar Mellencamp is because he's a knockoff Bon Jovi. I want the grade A steak. Don't come at me with this bargain basement stuff.
First
John
off,
Cougar Mellencamp is a knockoff Bon Jovi who is a knockoff Bruce Springsteen. There's levels to this, and I'm not
I'm
worried about the third level.
I'm pretty sure out of the three of them, it went Bruce, John Cougar, and Bon Jovi. I think Bon Jovi came out last.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about who came out first. I'm talking about who's the most talented and has the lasting legacy, and it's
Let's
not
just,
John Cougar Mellencamp.
let's just move on from that. Greek yogurt.
Disgusting. I don't know. Greek yogurt to me is similar to wine and coffee, in which I don't understand how people even like that. Like that taste to me is awful. Like this is disgusting. It's disgusting to me.
I actually had to stop drinking coffee because I realized, and I think a lot of people out there come to this realization too, that like I'm not really drinking coffee because I put in so much additives and sugar. Like a latte to me is not coffee.
Oh, you're essentially just drinking like flavored syrup.
Yeah, yeah, essentially.
Drink your coffee like a man, straight up, black, cold.
All right, let's see here. Enemas.
I don't know if I have any thoughts about them. I feel like honestly, my first thought about an enema is that I'm at the age where I'm probably gonna have to have my prostate checked. Like
I mean,
I don't
you
have
haven't
much.
already?
I don't have much longer before some doctor is putting his fingers in my butt.
Which, by the way, I just want to say though I have not had a colonoscopy yet, I am a large proponent of making sure you do that. So I know we're
Why
kind
are
of
you a
joking
large
around,
proponent of it? Why is this like your thing?
but I mean, I've had this is just a downer episode. I had a few friends pass away from like late stage colon cancer.
Oh God, why are you so depressing today?
Well, you asked me the follow up. We didn't have to go into that.
You could have just been like, "Well, I've had personal experiences."
You're right. I could have said that. All right, hair plugs.
My cousin got him. He looked really weird for a while.
I had an intern or an intern of a news station when I worked there, he came in one morning at like 3 a.m. and he was a good looking guy. He wanted to be a reporter. He didn't want to be inside, but he was an intern nonetheless. And he had a bandage around his head, and he had like little blood spotlets on the bandage.
Oh, he got hair plugs.
He got he had hair plugs, and I remember thinking at that point in time. I mean, I was 22, 3, 4, like thinking like, golly, I hope I never have to get hair plugs.
Man, I feel like being bald hits people hard. I'm very fortunate.
Oh yeah,
I'm
me
very
too.
fortunate.
Very, very fortunate. Jumping jacks.
Good old fashioned calisthenics.
I was gonna
Get
say,
out there
like,
and do your pump squats and your push-ups and your pull-ups, kids.
like
I'm not doing jumping jacks. My knees are gonna break.
I know, right?
Actually, I have quite good knees for my age. If I can toot my own horn, I have quite strong knees.
Sweaters with no sleeves.
That's just a vest.
Fair enough. That's all I need.
That's just
Diet Coke versus regular Coke.
Diet Coke is the only reason that I get up in the mornings. I look forward to my first sip of diet soda. I look forward to my first sip of diet soda from about the moment I wake up. So I wake up, I go for a run or do some kind of workout. I come home and I crack me a fridge cigarette and just enjoy it.
I like that. I like that.
Oh yeah, I heard someone refer to soda as fridge cigarettes, and it's absolutely, I'm addicted. I'm as addicted as you can get, and I have no intentions of stopping.
Pee Wee Herman.
What happened to him? He's somebody that, is he dead?
He's dead, yeah.
He is dead. Man, he was involved in celebrity scandal at the wrong time to be involved in a celebrity scandal. Like now, taking yourself on a solo joyride at a movie theater that is specifically made for people to take themselves on solo joyrides, I don't even think that would be a huge controversy now. But he was like...
I still think the celebrity status changes the game. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you can't do that in public if you're that person. Yeah,
I mean,
like,
what I never understood about that whole situation was, he probably had a decent sized house, right? Just go into a room with a movie, with a big TV and do it. Like, why would you do it in public? But then again, I'm sure there was another part of that we don't understand, right? That he was doing it for whatever reason.
I'm sure it was kind of along the lines of being his thing to some degree, or he really just wanted to see it on the big screen. But I would not go into a movie theater that was showing that kind of film and then be surprised that somebody was doing that. Like, what? I thought this was for art. I can't believe someone would do this in the movie theater to pornography. Someone would touch themselves to pornography.
Two things about his death.
Set up.
One, he was 70 when he died. I feel like a lot of people think he was a lot younger when he passed away, but he was 70.
I would have guessed like 45.
And he died of lung cancer.
It's tough.
All right, last one here.
Is your heartburn back?
No, I'm following the doctor's orders. I've been actually eating pretty good, and imagine this, I haven't had any heartburn.
Good. Amazing what you do when you listen to people who know things about what they're talking about.
Then I go to Costco though, and I get the giant bag of salami sticks, and it's just not good.
No. Well, then just don't buy that. That's the only way to avoid basically ruining your diet, is just not to buy it in the first place. You just have to not buy it. You can't have it in the house.
I will say this, and no one cares, but I feel like some people might agree with me. When Costco and BJ's and Sam's Club and all that came out about, when the push about 2 decades ago, for them to become these gigantic alternative, bulk store chains, whatever, grocery store chains, I was like, I don't get it. I don't want to go spend $200, $300, $400, and get 50 bags of chips, right? I think in less than 10 years, that'll be the only thing left. I think the Meijers of the world, all these other small grocery stores, They're going to be Kroger, all gone. It's going to be Costco and Sam's Club.
I can agree with you about their popularity continuing to increase. I'm not going to go down the road that there's not going to be grocery stores left. I'm not following you down that path. You're on.
Well, that's my argument though. Isn't Costco just a oversized bulk grocery store?
I mean, there's 7-Elevens and convenience stores that exist for a reason. Like sometimes people just want to get one thing real quick that's close by, and Costco's and those kind of stores won't scratch that itch. So you're still going to have all the other little things.
It is hell, by the way, going to Costco. I will admit that.
Well, you got to go to the good one. I'll drive out of my way to go to the good one.
All right. Let's see. One of the things I want to talk about other than that was fun. And it actually happened today in the greatest city in the world, Detroit.
Okay.
President Trump was visiting a Ford plant and got into some, and was good. This is all alleged, by the way, but there is video proof. Got into some kind of altercation with the Ford worker and flipped the Ford worker off and told him to go fuck himself. Now, I feel like if it was any other president, a lot of America would be like, awesome, man, stand up, blah, blah, blah. But because it's Trump, I feel like it's like, well, of course, why not? It's President Trump.
I mean, regardless of your political beliefs, there is always something that follows them around. My big question is that, like, is that guy still going to have a job tomorrow? I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's going to be working at that place anymore. But I also feel like this is a pet peeve of mine, if I can go on a quick rant here. I feel like people who are talking heads on TV, politicians, celebrities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, I think that they get isolated from what people really think about them. And that there's somehow this kind of thing is like, listen, you need to show decorum. You need to be polite. You need to treat these people with respect while they're screwing over your life. And I think that they get out in public and find out that other people aren't fucking around the way that they think that they are. Like, oh no, your decision's not some game. Like, I'm a real person, and now you're going to find out about this. So I always hate when talking heads on TV are like, we need to be nicer. Like, don't be rude to them in this argument. Like, no, their decisions and the things that they say have real effects. They should have to feel them.
Yeah, but I mean, you hit it on without getting deep into politics. Or left or right. You're right. I mean, they are completely removed. But I feel like that's the only cure for some people is to just be removed and not actually know or care, frankly, what the populace thinks or is doing or cares about or the issues. I mean, I think that's the only way. Because think about it, right? They're people. Like, how can you live the way they live? You just disconnect.
But you shouldn't. You should be more connected than anybody else.
Sure.
Like, you should take that as a sign that, like, maybe I'm not doing things the way that I should be doing, or that my decisions actually have real impacts on people's lives.
I mean, you would think, but
I don't think I think that some people in those positions do not see other people as real people. I think they have a totally disconnected from the decisions that they make. And that they need to be reminded that, no, those decisions have real impacts. You can get cussed out on a plane. I don't feel bad for you.
By the way, where did the original Karen go to? Where is she?
I don't know.
I want to know what happened
Probably
to her.
hiding in a hole, man. She's probably trying to she changed her name. I would try to disappear. Do you have anything else you want to do our top five?
Let's,
Mr.
I was trying to think.
Downer over there all day. Your friends who passed away and your political ramblings.
I mean,
God.
Whatever.
Mad
I'm
at
trying
the
to
world
grow.
'cause
It's
you
not
can't grow a
coming in.
beard.
I just grow the stupid mustache. Yes.
So our top five is top five appliances. In order of importance is how I went about them. What's your number five?
In order of importance. Okay.
Yeah, like the most important one is, to me, the number one.
All right. So my number five is the dishwasher.
I actually don't have dishwasher on the list. I haven't lived as privileged a high-class life as you have, where I've always been around dishwashers my whole life. Like, I've had to be without a dishwasher. It's not that big of a deal.
I didn't have a dishwasher for like 2 years of my first child being born. So I had to wash every bottle by hand, and that was a lot.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a lot.
So I
Yeah,
understand
that's a
it.
pain in the butt. But the problem is that my wife, who is a lovely, beautiful woman who I love with all my heart, is very, very particular about how much the dishes have to be washed before they go into the dishwasher. So we essentially just wash them twice.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go back on that. You have to wash them twice?
They have to be cleaned. They need to basically be scraped of all the things that are on them. And by the time you've done that, I've basically washed the dish. So what's the point of putting it in the dishwasher after that? I want to put things in the dishwasher with like crap all over it, but that's against the rules of the VinZant household. And if I want to have a happy life, I have to comply with this particular rule. So we essentially wash the dishes and then put them in the dishwasher.
I mean, I kind of agree with her. I do a first rinse too, I guess you can call it.
Oh, I would clean out the stuff that clearly is still edible food and then put it in there. But I'm not making it sparkling clean and then putting it in the dishwasher. That's why my number 5 is the freezer. The older you get, the more important the freezer becomes.
I don't have freezer on my list because I think it's something that you can do without. I feel like that's not essential to life.
Wow. And you're a man who considers himself to be a chef, and you don't consider this freezer to be one of the most important appliances in your household? That's why I know that you're just over there spending hours cooking up dry, flavorless meat.
I feel like
You don't need to put it in the freezer because nobody wants it.
Is that were you just waiting to say that? Does that make you feel better?
It does.
I don't even know. I like cooking. I haven't had too many people say negative things about my cooking.
Mm.
What's the last thing you cooked that wasn't a pancake?
I don't really cook anything.
Okay.
I have a general philosophy of like, I'm not spending more time making it than it takes me to eat.
But so how are you going to stand there and criticize me when at least I try to cook?
Well, I'm not trying.
That's what I mean. You're not even
you
involved
spend all
in
this
the game.
time and you got all your 15 pairs of tongs that you've bought, waking up at 2 a.m. to flip over your dry roast that still ends up not being good. I'm not criticizing. I'm criticizing your lack of ability.
My
right?
dry roast.
All
Okay.
effort,
Okay.
no ability.
Okay. Fine. Let's just move on.
No results.
Um,
You've spent thousands of dollars and end up with nothing but burnt, charred meat.
Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. My number 4 is a dryer.
Ooh. Okay.
Because
I mean, I okay.
a dryer to me it's not as important as its brother or sister, but it's also something that if you've ever tried to, like, I've never tried to put clothes out on a clothes line, but like that just seems like a lot more work to do, and you can't do it in the winter.
You can just do it. Like, I've had to go without a dryer for a number of times in my day. I've been dryerless, and it wasn't that big of a deal. You just had to plan ahead. Back in my day, my number 4 is a microwave.
Okay. I mean, I don't have microwave on my list.
That's how you know you're getting classier in life. The freezer becomes more important. The classier you get in life, the less you use the microwave.
Well, I mean, you're really gonna think that I'm classy then, because my number 3 is an air fryer.
Ooh, okay. My number 3 is a toaster oven, which I don't really understand the difference between a toaster oven and an air fryer.
I think the difference is an air fryer obviously uses recirculated air, as where a toaster oven still uses like the heat things, like the heat
Toast.
toast. Yeah, I will say,
Okay.
like, I'm cool with both. I have both, but I prefer an air fryer.
Do you have both a toaster oven and an air fryer out on your kitchen countertop at the same time?
No, I actually store everything in my basement. and I come down here every time I want to use something, and then I carry it upstairs. I don't have a lot of counter space in my kitchen, but also it like I don't know, it's just worth the effort. You know what I mean?
What so like what all do you have on the counter in your kitchen then?
I mean, it's a lot of. I mean, I don't have a big kitchen, right? I don't have a lot of counter space,
You
but
going
like
up
the
and
counter.
down the stairs every time you want to use the microwave, the toaster oven, or the air fryer?
No, not the microwave, but
Okay,
like
okay,
a
okay.
specialty appliance, like a air fryer, toaster oven, my hot dog roller, things like that.
This is why I get upset because you put all this effort and investment into it, and you're not like you're not exactly Emerald. Don't see any Michelin stars over there.
No, but you know what? Maybe in 5 years, who knows?
You're putting like 1 pound of sausage into the sausage grinder, and you're coming out with like an eighth of a pound.
I mean, so it's funny, and no one cares, but I'm going to say this anyways. Somebody asked me like a week ago what I would do if I could restart over, like from college on. I think I'd go to culinary school.
It's not too late, man.
I got nothing special. I got nothing, and I don't even have like a cool personality to like even have a talk show.
You could, I mean, you don't have to set your sights on being king of the world. You could maybe just be happy cooking food, smoking meat. You love to smoke meat. Think of all the
Here,
meat you could smoke.
here we go. Anyways, my number two appliance is I went with the washing machine.
Oh, I bet we have ours reversed. I bet we
Okay,
have ours reversed. My number two is the refrigerator.
you would be correct.
My number one is the washing machine.
And my number one is the hot dog roller.
Well, if you need
Kidding.
one, you really God, you have a hot dog roller?
They are amazing, and you should not say a word of negativity about them unless you have one, because they are you've never had a hot dog till you've had one on a hot dog roller.
Well, you could just go to Quick Trip or get it from the gas station. Like you're just not going to really convince me that somehow the hot dog roller makes this 8 out of 10 hot dog into a 10 out of 10. Like
Oh,
you're not going to convince me how many points does it add in the flavor scale just by cooking it on a hot dog roller and not throwing that thing in the microwave.
an 11 out of 10. It makes it a 20 out of 10.
Okay. I think, see, now if you would have given me a real answer that I could have believed, I would have believed you. But I'm just not going to sit there here and think that, like, wow, I've never had a hot dog till it was on this roller.
Out of all the conversations we ever had, I'm enjoying this one about hot
The
dog
hot
roller.
dog roller? How many hot dogs will you cook at one time? Do you go down there and get it just to make one hot dog?
So I buy the Costco hot dogs. Shout out to the Costco hot dogs because they
Shout
are
out to
the
Costco.
best hot dogs I think you can buy.
I
Uh,
agree.
I usually make like six for, it's me, my two daughters, and my wife, and I usually make one for my dog because who doesn't?
Okay. I mean,
So
going like, I guess if you have a hot dog roller, you can make family meal hot dog.
yeah,
Right,
I
like,
mean,
Dad's making hot dogs. Do you say that? I bet
yeah,
you say something.
the girls have one, my dog has one, I usually have two. You could also use the hot dog roller for taquitos, pigs and blanket. Like there's all kinds of options. Anyways, my number one, irregardless of the hot dog roller, which I want it to be number one, but my actual number one is the refrigerator.
I would have put refrigerator at number one if not for having two small children and the importance of a washing machine.
That's fair.
I could get by without a refrigerator. I could not get by as a dad of two young children without a washing machine.
I mean, we just had a new washer delivered today because mine that we've had for 15 years, the agitator just stopped working and it wasn't cleaning the clothes. And I didn't realize how many loads of clothes we do as a family. It's insane.
Oh, I'm in charge of laundry on Fridays. I know how many loads of laundry we do.
That's cute.
It's incredible.
That's cute.
Yeah, man, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty in there. I don't have any problem with taking care of my children the way that needs to be done. There's work to be done, I'm going to do it. Not going to be like somebody else should do this. I'm like, no, do the laundry, man. Not a big deal.
Well,
I know some people that I went to high school with, who refuse to change diapers. And to me, that's basically like saying, oh, you don't want to take care of your child. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not turning this into the dad podcast. I know that's what you want. Do you have anything in your honorable mention? I got about 30 seconds before I get upset.
is it cold in Seattle?
No, not really, actually.
The weather here is lovely.
I'm not doing it. I'm
No,
leaving.
I don't-
I'm not only ending this, I'm leaving. Usually John and I stay around and we chat for a little bit. I'm not even going to do that.
I'm going to consider this a win. You should just leave.